Welcome to Kwento Kids. Sumabay sa aming pagsalaysay ng mga kwentong puno ng saysay.
Kwento Kids is presenting with permission from Adarna House and the creators of this book. Author Luis Gatmaitan, MD, and illustrator Beth Parrocha-Doctolero. Ang Ambisyosong Istetoskop. Istet is ambitious. His dream is to be famous and well known around the world. One day, a foreigner took notice of him. Istet was very annoyed, but there was nothing he could do but go with a man whom they called Pepe. He did not like the small-built and brown-skinned Pepe. Many times, he would pretend to be deaf when he was placed on the chest and back of Pepe's patients. One time, while inside the black bag of Pepe, Istet heard Teroy the thermometer say that Pepe was admirable. The brown-skinned doctor is a remarkable healer, Popoy Forceps exclaimed. He treats even those who do not have money. Gringa Syringe said. He is also a good writer, Pen added. Istet joined the discussion. Pepe is also a writer? Istet was happy with what he heard. Aba, if it is true that Pepe is a good writer, aside from being a doctor, there is hope that my dreams will come true. If Pepe becomes famous, so will I. One morning, Istet wondered why Pepe did not bring him along to the hospital. Every day, Pepe would bring him to the hospital where he trained. But the next day, and even the day after, Pepe still did not use Istet. He peeked from inside the black bag and was greatly surprised when he saw Pen in Pepe's hands. Jealousy and envy entered Istet's heart. Pepe has a new favorite, he whispered. Because of this, Istet questioned Pen. Why did you steal Pepe from me? Pen calmly explained. Istet, someday you will understand why Pepe has to write his novels. Please do not be upset. Come, let me introduce you to Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. Istet scoffed. One evening, Istet tried to peer into the pages of the novels that Pepe was spending so much time writing. Aba, those Spanish priests were mean. Why were the Spaniards always meddling? Will Ibarra and Maria Clara end up with each other? Istet discovered many other things in the novels. From then on, when everyone else was sleeping, he would always rise to read the novels and follow the events in the lives of Pepe's characters. Before long, Pepe returned to his land, and there Istet met other brown-skinned people. At first, his snobbishness ruled. They faced people who smelled of sun and sweat. But when he realized that they were the poor people in Pepe's novels, he began to listen intently to the sound of the heartbeats and breathing of Pepe's own people. The doctor from Madrid is brilliant, said the people who came to see them. Istet noticed that sometimes the people who consulted Pepe were not there to ask about their illnesses. They were more concerned about other issues aside from fevers, headaches, or stomach aches. They complained about the cruelty of the Spaniards. Istet also heard that the Spaniards were angry with Pepe. He was reminded of the novels that Pepe wrote. You know, Istet, the people are suffering, but this suffering is not merely cough, colds, measles, or indigestion. Pepe wants to treat this suffering, which is why the Spaniards are angry with him. As Istet began to understand, he declared, Pen, I agree with what Pepe is doing. I am on his side. Istet could not believe that because of what Pepe had written, Pepe would be arrested. They were brought to Dapitan, a town that was very far from Manila. Estet was very angry. He did not want others to know that he was made in Spain. What they are doing is no longer reasonable. Their meddling has come too far. I am ashamed to face Pepe and his countrymen, Estet said with his head bowed. It is not your fault, Estet. It is not the Spanish race that Pepe hates, but the way they run the country, interrupted Isko Scalpel. That's true, and there is nothing more admirable than a person who loves his country, explained Teroy Thermometer. Ah, basta. I will still poke them, exclaimed Gringa Syringe. Estet's admiration for Pepe grew. The snobbish stethoscope forgot about his grand dreams of being world famous. While in Dapitan, Pepe's instruments were again used for healing the sick. One morning, Estet did not see Pepe, Penpen, Popoy Isko, Teroy, and Gringa. He looked for his friends. He asked around, but no one could tell him where they were. Maybe Pepe found another stethoscope, one that is newer, shinier, maybe one with better hearing. He has left me. Many years passed. One day, there were guests who came to the old clinic of Pepe in Dapitan. Even if Estet was old and worn, his hearing was still clear enough to catch the conversations of the men who came. They were talking about Pepe. He was being asked to go with them. They were going to Manila. I wonder where Pepe will take us this time. Will Penpen and Gringa come along too? Estet fell asleep during the long journey. Estet was surprised when he opened his eyes. Many pairs of eyes were looking at him through the glass where he was placed. Who are you? Where am I? Estet asked. But it was as if no one heard him. At first he felt afraid and anxious, but when he stared back into their eyes, he saw their admiration. What is this I'm hearing? Me? I'm the most famous stethoscope in the world? Why? What happened to Pepe? He looked around his surroundings. In one corner, he saw Penpen and Gringa, were each lying in a glass case similar to his. Popoy, Isko, and Teroy were there as well. So many eyes were peering at them. On the opposite wall, Estet saw a huge frame with Pepe's image. It was looking their direction, smiling. It was only then that Estet realized that the foreigner whom he almost snubbed in Spain was declared the greatest hero of the Philippines. Estet's dream came true, but for him, whether he was famous or not, what was more valuable was that he was reunited with Pepe, there in the museum.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. We hope you have learned about our culture and people as we share more pieces of Philippine literature with you. You can also read Adarna House books online through buribooks.com, an extensive e-library of Adarna House books. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more exciting tales, and share it with your friends and family who love reading and learning as well. Mabuhay ang pagbasa!